Hello, I'm Toyah Wilcox, and I want to recommend to you Skillshare, an online learning community for creative and curious people. There are thousands of courses from photography to editing movies and to artwork. It's absolutely fabulous. The course that I have done is by Emma Gannon, and I loved it. Finding fulfillment using pivots to power your creative career. And what I loved about it, it says don't fear failure, make calculated risks. You can change, you can pivot, see opportunities, and I loved that. I loved that it taught me to push my own boundaries out and encouraged me to make changes and see opportunities and act on them. The courses are curated for learning, meaning there are no ads, and they're always launching new premium classes so you can stay focused and follow wherever your creativity takes you. Whether you're a dabbler or a pro, a hobbyist or a master, you are creative. Discover what you can make with classes for every skill level. When you join, you can try one of Skillshare's live classes. Experience real-time inspiration as you connect with popular teachers while watching and working along with other members. Skillshare offers membership with meaning. Connect with the support of fellow creators and enter a community of encouragement, skill, and future dreams come true. The first 1,000 of my subscribers to click the link in the description will get a 1-month free trial of Skillshare, so you can start exploring your creativity today. Take your journey forward. It's never too late to be who you want to be and have the skills you crave. The time is now. Make it happen. Hello everybody and welcome to Toyah At Home. In an hour's time I step on stage in Liverpool for the first Let's Rock festival for me in almost 2 years. We know what went wrong in 2020 and now we are back, which is fantastic. But for now, from the quiet and sanity of my home where there isn't a huge big PA system blasting, I thought I'd talk to you. It's been a great 2 weeks. I've been on a P&O Britannia doing concerts, broadcasting from there as well. I'm now back on terra firma, which is fantastic. For our first song today, I have a lovely story about this song. It's Neon Womb. About 6 weeks ago, my guitar teacher, Sydney Jake, who's been teaching me guitar for the last 6-7 months, contacted me to say that he heard this song for the first time ever. He's in his 40s, or he's just 40, and he says, this is the coolest song I have ever heard. Now, coming from someone like Sydney Jake, who is an accomplished hard rocker, is such a compliment. So our first song today is me on guitar, me singing, accompanied by Sydney Jake, and this is Neon Womb. Enjoy.
Nothing exists about which is mine. My mind is, my mind was. Standing all alone in the neon world reminds me of my mother's lonely tomb. City is as cold as fire, and this mother city calls me a liar. My mind is, woo-hoo-hoo-hoo. My mind was, see, I'm insane, I'm insane, I'm insane. My body is a neon world. I'm a neon world. Neon world. Heart's so warm, my mind's so warm, my body's torn. Heart's so warm, my mind's so warm. standing all alone in the neon room. Reminds me of my mother's lonely tomb. Air in the city is as cold as fire, and this mother city calls me liar. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo. Yeah, 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 yeah.
That was me on guitar singing Neon Womb. I cannot tell you how proud I am to have done that. 6-7 months ago, there is no way I could have split my hands, sung at the same time. And Sydney Jake, who was accompanying me with Neon Womb, has found a way through my dyspraxia and my dyslexia to teach me, and I'm just taking off. So now when we perform a piece of music or we write a piece of music, and we're writing constantly, I can find my body wanting to behave almost like Chris Wong, in that I'm going, my hands are going to do the rhythm or go to the notes. So the knowledge is all up there. It's just finding its way out correctly and in a controlled manner. And I'm getting there. And the astonishing thing is, at the age of 63, I was almost prepared to give up on that dream. So I'm very, very grateful. And it goes to show it is never, ever too late. Our first question today is from Richard Thornton. Richard, you ask, if I could have a summer night dinner party, who would I invite and why? Well, I'm in our vinery. I say our because I live here with my gorgeous husband, Robert Fripp. We have a dining table in here, but it's way too hot to eat in here at the moment. But my guess would be some of the most powerful men in the world. And there's a reason behind this. I would invite Elon Musk, if he would come, Richard Branson. I have met Richard before when I was shooting the holiday programme for the BBC about 1998. I actually went up in a hot air balloon with Richard Branson in the Atlas Mountains. It was just me and him. The balloon was at a hotel he'd just bought, which was really more like a boutique hotel. It was tiny but ultra beautiful. And Richard and I went up in a balloon, and he was training to go up around the world in that balloon he built to go high up in the Earth's atmosphere. So he's obviously always been obsessed with space. He was absolutely delightful, and his parents were there, which really touched me. He loves his parents. So Richard Branson would be on the list. So would Jeff Bezos, Alice Cooper, because I think we'd all adore Alice, including me big time, Greta Thunberg and Zandra Rhodes. Now, this has to be fun to a certain extent, and when you are out with billionaires, they're highly educated people. They don't want to know about normal life. They probably know nothing about normal life. But with Elon Musk, I would probably move the table out into the lawn under the night sky, and I'd point to that sky and I'd say, Elon, about a year ago, I looked up at that sky and I saw a grid of about 9 or 12 stars. What's going on? I only want to see stars and constellations. I don't want to see satellite grids. He probably wouldn't tell me, but I am all for not messing up outer space. And I'd say to all three of them, with the backing, I hope, of Greta Thunberg, is why are you doing space tourism when you have the power to change this planet for the better? Now, I know these people are philanthropists and they do a lot of charity. But the thing about space tourism, I could never afford to go up. Could you afford to go up? And why would you want to go up? I think it's a race for minerals off the moon, and I just don't think that's a healthy thing to do. I would advise everyone, okay, you've got the technology, you're ahead of NASA, you've got the money, you're ahead of NASA, but NASA knows so much, and I'm just not sure we're supposed to be in outer space in that way. So come back to Earth and let's try and repair everything that's repairable on this planet. I'm not talking just about ecology, I'm talking about the human race and debt and countries in debt and families in debt. Perhaps when all of us can own our own home and know we're secure and can buy food, then perhaps space travel is a good thing. But at the moment, it just seems wrong. So this is where Alice Cooper will step in and say, chill out, Toyah, chill out, Greta. And Sandra Rhodes would step in with her eye of beauty, and they could all talk about the wonderful flowers in the garden. But if I could have a dinner party like that, I think it should be filmed, and everyone should get to hear what the conclusion is. Jill Pearlstrom, your question is short and sweet. Would I ever update my 2000 biography, Living Out Loud? It's a very good question, and thank you for it. I found living out loud such a painful experience. I live in the present. I don't really like looking back that much. I will say since the year 2000, my life has blossomed and become something that I really wanted it to be. In 2001, I believe it was, I received a fax when I was at the Soho Theatre performing in a play called The Shagaround, which was a very fun, interesting comedy. And I got this fax off a promoter saying, would I like to play Wembley Arena? And I thought it was a joke. And this promoter explained to me that 80s music was taking off thanks to YouTube and younger generations. And I have to say, since that moment in 2001, my life has been very, very good and very special. It brought me back to being who I always wanted to be, a singer, and playing in arenas, playing in clubs, but playing live and able to write more original music as well. So you ask, Jill, would I update Living Out Loud? Personally, I don't have the time. I'd rather be doing this. I'd rather be talking to you direct via Toyah YouTube. I'd rather be doing my social media and posting really great fun things for you on Toyah YouTube. Writing a book is very time consuming. Now, I do want to do short stories and I'd love to do fiction. Funny enough, to write about me, I think would bore me silly. If someone else wanted to do it, then perhaps that's another thing. I'd find that more interesting. Seeing myself, third party, seeing myself through someone else's eyes, that appeals to the actress in me. And probably I would come up with more in-depth information than if I just sat there alone with a pen and paper. It probably will happen, but when there's a demand, and I think Posh Pop can cause a demand, and also I'm carrying on making movies, and the movies are getting more and more attention and more success. That means people want autobiographies. So let's see. But at this moment in time, the thought of sitting down with a pen and paper writing about me, no, it does not appeal at all. I found Living Out Loud, writing it, and I was writing it mainly while I was filming Barmy Aunt Boomerang in Scotland. I found it very painful to visit places that I'd buried deep. And it's interesting when people say if you've been through a trauma, you bury that trauma, but it comes out in other aspects of your personality and how you respond to the world. And I realized how traumatized I was by my past. And when you look at my past, there's nothing really terrible, but I was always up against a wall of resistance about being me. People are always saying that me being true to myself wasn't right and I should be something else. And I never realized to what level that traumatized. And it started with my mum never letting me wear what I want to wear and physically making me wear stuff she thought I should wear, and us fighting, fist fights over this. And I was a child. And then going into the music industry and people just saying that I should be more this, I should be more that, definitely left a sense of trauma. So when you look back on these things and you have to write about them, you're emotionally back in that place. So I'm in no hurry to do that. But if someone out there is interested in me and is an experienced writer and is experienced in music as well, I would definitely seriously consider it. Paul Kelly, thank you so much for your question, Paul. You ask, I've made a lot of albums. Yeah, I believe it's about 29, could possibly be 30, Paul. Which was your favourite to make and why? Well, let me answer that part of the question first. My favourite to make was definitely, I think in a way, Anthem, because it was made at a time of incredible success. It's a Mystery was in the charts, so we knew we were on to a winner, and we knew a very large audience was waiting for this album. I was working with Nigel Glockler on drums, Adrian Lee on keyboards, Joel Bogan on guitar, and Phil Spalding on bass, and we were all writers. Nick Tauber was producing, and he was fabulous, but the way I remember making Anthem is it really flowed, the creativity flowed, there was an energy in the air, making so much possible. Everything was carrying us like a small tidal wave, carrying us forward. I remember there were very few obstacles on that album. So Anthem was a happy album. But also, when I was working with Bill Rieflin on Toyah and the Humans, those were really happy albums and very different experiences. When I went to Seattle to work with Bill on Humans 1, Seattle is such a wonderful place. I don't know what it's like now. I haven't been there for 2 years, and there's been a lot of high-rises going up. It's becoming a space-age city. But we worked in this wonderful rundown studio on the waterfront, and it was so romantic. The whole romanticism of being in Seattle with its amazing history and these incredible people that just still dressed like grunge rockers. I loved being there. And then quite a lot later, about 8 years later, we were lent Pearl Jam's studio in West Seattle to record Strange Tales. And I loved making that album. Pearl Jam studio is phenomenally well equipped, and Death Cab for Cutie had their PA system brought in for Japan and installed in the studio so we could use that. And there was a feeling about making Strange Tales that we were being embraced and given a virtual hug from these wonderful iconic bands who really supported what we were doing, and Seattle was really behind us. I loved working on that, and I'm so glad a butterfly has just come in, because for me butterflies are messages from those who have passed. So that's either my mum or hopefully it's Bill. So I would say Strange Tales. Now, Paul, you go on to say, which is your favourite to listen to in hindsight? Well, actually, it's none of the albums I've mentioned. It's Sugar Rush, which I think is a groundbreaking album. Sugar Rush was made after the death of my father, and I believe when you lose a parent, especially your father, you become an adult. And I felt I felt empowered. I was in grief, but I felt empowered. I felt as though I had an immediate ancestor on my shoulder leading me and giving me insight and creativity and a way forward. So I was living with grief and I was living with power. And Sugar Rush really represents that for me. And it's an album that has such presence, such originality, the power of the basses, the power of the composition. It's very special. And you know, out of all of my albums, Sugar Rush is the one I go back to listen to. I love Crimson Queen. I think the compositions are breathtaking. We made it on no income whatsoever. The budget was 10 pence, but that shows in the beauty of it. And I really enjoy listening to Posh Pop, which has the heart and soul of myself, Simon Darlow, and Robert Fripp in it. Very, very special. And I will enjoy listening to that, and I will enjoy performing that for a long time in the future as well. I can't wait to tour it, because we're creating a completely different sound, a sound that's really true to the album. And the album is very poppy. It's obviously poppy. It's very, very rocky as well. And I think it has such deep messages that are very, very easy for the audience to pick up on. So very fond of that. So ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for your eyes and ears, and keep your questions coming in. It's been an honour to talk to you today, and we are going to go out on a recording I did recently on my green screen, and this is talking about In the Court of the Crimson Queen being one of my favourite albums. I know that Badman is popular with so many of my fans because when Crime and Punishment, the musical, was performing at Tower Bridge at the Scoop Theatre, I had so many men come up to me after the shows I sat in on, and they said thank you for the song Bad Man, and where could they get it? So obviously I told them, and I said, why does this song mean so much to you? And they said it's in their lives they've been judged, they've had prejudgment in their lives, and they've been reflected on negatively, and here was a song saying you are not a bad man. You are not someone who has done anything you should be ashamed about. And I see you, and I see through your tough exterior. I love this song, and it's been an honour to record this live for you on my green screen at home. I hope you enjoy it. We have so much social media going out over the weekend and on Monday. We're making sure we keep entertaining you. Mr. Fripp from the USA, me from on the road and from home when I can. So keep looking out for what we're posting. We're making it as fun as possible. Have a wonderful, wonderful week, and I will see you at a show very, very soon. Lots of love from Toyah. This is Badman. Bye for now.
You are not a bad man. Bad man do what bad man can. Don't they understand? When you're silent, no reaction, it gives no satisfaction. But in my heart, you are constant with a love like glass. I see you, I see through you. What could they do to a sad man, dealt the wrong man, not a bad man? Who are they to criticize your passion so solid pride? Remember those you left behind. We stand by you, protect you. Our time will never die. And in my heart, you are constant with a love like glass. I see through, I see through you. What could they do to a sad man, dealt the wrong man, not a bad man? To a sad man, dealt the wrong man, not a bad man. To a sad man, not a bad man, dealt the wrong man. Let them reap the grief they sow. Who would know you were low? You were still my hero.
Hello, I'm Toyah Wilcox, and I want to recommend to you Skillshare, an online learning community for creative and curious people. There are thousands of courses, from photography to editing movies and to artwork. It's absolutely fabulous. The course that I have done is by Emma Gannon, and I loved it. Finding fulfillment using pivots to power your creative career. And what I loved about it, it says don't fear failure, make calculated risks. You can change, you can pivot, see opportunities, and I loved that. I loved that it taught me to push my own boundaries out and encouraged me to make changes and see opportunities and act on them. The courses are curated for learning, meaning there are no ads, and they're always launching new premium classes so you can stay focused and follow wherever your creativity takes you. Whether you're a dabbler or a pro, a hobbyist or a master, you are creative. Discover what you can make with classes for every skill level. When you join, you can try one of Skillshare's live classes. Experience real-time inspiration as you connect with popular teachers while watching and working along with other members. Skillshare offers membership with meaning. Connect with the support of fellow creators and enter a community of encouragement, skill, and future dreams come true. The first 1,000 of my subscribers to click the link in the description will get a 1-month free trial of Skillshare, so you can start exploring your creativity today. Take your journey forward. It's never too late to be who you want to be and have the skills you crave. The time is now. Make it happen.